Hello traders, good evening, welcome back to the channel. In today's weekly sectoral analysis, we are going to do a bit different. Generally, what I do is I start with the daily time frame chart, the weekly and the monthly time frame chart. Today we are going to use first the monthly and again the monthly. Well, you will be surprised why I'm using two different monthly charts. Let's get into it. The first thing is what we need to understand that I have plotted a retracement, a Fibonacci retracement from this COVID lows to the recent high which was there in the September 2024. And we can see that we have a correction in Nifty which is almost close to its 23.6% Fibonacci retracement. And obviously this is a pretty strong support. This is the first point. The second point is if I am retracing from this low, 1st of June 2022 till the recent high of September 2024, then we have retraced close to 38.20% retracement. Both these cases, both the retracements are absolutely right. And yes, it does happen at times. So first thing is very clear that we are at a strong support. That is the first thing. Second thing is if we just have a look in terms of trend, in the weekly time frame chart, we can see over here the trend is down and we have a positive candle. It's a sort of a pullback mode. In the monthly time frame chart on the far right, the trend is flat and it is at a very strong support. In the daily time frame chart, if you have a look, it is pretty much visible that the RSI was below 30, which I tried to share in my last video. And we have been able to pull back just close to 3% from the recent lows in the last 4 trading sessions. Now the immediate resistance according to my analysis in Nifty spot seems to be somewhere at 22,700, which is the first resistance. But if you ask me what is a meaningful resistance, now difference between a resistance and a meaningful resistance is not much different, but a meaningful resistance is generally coexisting with a price cluster. Now if you see this zone, this is much stronger and the answer is this previous low plus we have some sort of cluster over here. So according to me, yes, 22,700 is surely a resistance, but if you ask me what is a stiff resistance, then I would say it is 22,800 and probably 22,900. So this entire band of 22,800 to 22,900, this can give a strong resistance to Nifty spot. All right. So this is the first thing. Second thing, if we just have a look at the Bank Nifty, in terms of trend, I would say that we are in a flattish trend in the monthly time frame chart. In the weekly time frame chart, yes, there was some weakness visible in a couple of weeks back. We tried to drop down, but immediately we have been able to see some supports over here from this previous low. Now, as of now, this seems to be just a pullback. And if you have a look in the 2-hourly time frame chart, there seems to be some weakness. So again, if I'm not wrong, and if we start trading below Thursday's low, we could see some weakness in the banking pack. Now going ahead with the PSU banking sector, we can see that we are in a downtrend in the weekly time frame chart. The momentum is down in the monthly time frame chart, but the trend is flat. Now, in terms of Fibonacci extension, we can see that we have been able to bounce from the 161.80% Fibonacci extension. The candle which has been made over here is also pretty big in size. Even in the daily time frame charts, we can see that the candle sizes are very big. So this emphasizes very clearly that the pullback is pretty strong. Now, is this a trend reversal or just a pullback? First, we need to understand that this is just a pullback, nothing much. But in terms of levels, if you ask me, that this level is very important because we can see this previous high over here and couple of times this particular level has been able to act as pretty decent support. So I think 6085 to 6100 can provide a decent resistance to PSU banking pack. If the sector closes above it, then maybe a little bit, you can say uppish momentum will be visible in the PSU banking pack. Now going ahead with the private banking sector. Private banking sector, according to me, the trend is flat in the monthly time frame chart. The trend is down in the weekly time frame chart, and even it is similar in the daily time frame chart, but there is no momentum. Like what I'm trying to say over here is we did see a drop in the price, again some upside, again some downside, but whatever is happening is it's not happening very fast. It's happening very slow. On the similar note, if you just have a look at the PSU banking pack, you can see things are happening very fast. So if a trader is trading, then I think the pick will generally be the PSU banking pack, whether it is on the long side or either on the short side, because traders need momentum to make money. Now talking about the energy pack, first we'll go to the monthly time frame chart, and in the monthly time frame chart, the biggest thing which is visible over here is that we have been able to retrace this entire up move, which is visible from 1st Feb of 2023 to the recent high of August 2024. We have been able to retrace till 61.80% Fibonacci retracement, and this retracement is coexisting with the previous high, which means that this is a strong support. Now, if we go to the weekly time frame chart, we can also see that we have a lower low in price, and this is what exactly I shared with all of you in my previous weekly sectoral analysis. If you have paid attention, we do have a lower low in price, higher low in RSI, and now it certainly looks like a classical positive divergence. If you have a look at the daily time frame chart, you might get a feeling that the pullback is already over, and we have seen a lot of up move, and probably now we can see some sort of downside. Well, it's very difficult to say, because the reason is the positive divergence has just come into existence. If I'm not wrong, if you just have a close look at the daily time frame chart, this is the previous high. Prices are trying to go higher than this. If we get a close above it for a couple of days, then I think prices will try to test this previous high over here. And even if you want to get an idea like how far the pullback can continue in the energy pack, and just drop this resistance, and you'll be able to understand that the 23.6% Fibonacci retracement will act as a pretty stiff resistance for this particular sector. All right. Moving ahead to the metal pack, well, in the monthly time frame chart, nothing is visible great. It's pretty flattish in terms of trend. In the weekly time frame chart, this was very choppy environment, you can see, and one thing is visible, that the 161.80% Fibonacci extension has worked pretty well, and we can see this spike in the prices of metal stocks. Now, yes, this is certainly good. This is a good news that we have been able to trend higher even in a negative market. But we also need to understand that in such a negative market, we also need confirmation that this is going to continue, that this bullish move is going to continue. It should not happen what happened in FMCG. If you just have a look at FMCG, we made a sharp up move, and then we also made a sharp down. So in order to avoid that, what we need to understand, after a sharp up move, we need to see a lower move on the downside, and we need to also confirm that this particular low should be higher than the previous low, and then if we start a new up move, only then we should trust. Otherwise, this move should not be trusted, and we should wait at the sidelines. And I always like to see a little bit more confirmation in the markets, in the index, especially in the sectoral index, before taking any positions. Okay, now let's have a look at the auto pack. Okay, now looking at the auto pack, this is a steep fall, first of all, with very high momentum. Again, over here, if you have a look, pretty high momentum, sideways move, again a downside momentum on the downside. Now, if you have a look in the daily time frame chart, we are trying to pull back, and the first resistance which the auto pack can probably face is at 21,600. This is also a resistance certainly, but this is not a very big resistance. For me, the bigger resistance is at 21,600, and even bigger can come at 22,000 levels. All right. And overall, we are just in a pullback mode in the auto pack, nothing more than that. Finance. Now, finance pack, I should say that the first, you can see this is the first up move, down move, again an up move, again a down move. We are trying to save this particular base. We are trying to avoid to go lower. Okay. But in this attempt to avoid going lower, what is happening is there is no momentum on the upside. So this is completely sideways move. And I would like to possibly participate in an index where the momentum is absolutely not visible to me. Consumption pack. Now in the consumption pack, we can see very clearly that the trend is up. We have retraced till 50% retracement. And what we can see over here is trend is down, sideways move, and again we can see a down move. Now after this down move, what we can see is that the prices are getting a support from this 161.8 Fibonacci extension. If this pullback continues on the upside, which is just a pullback, this is not a trend reversal. If we continue to pull back higher, then I think this zone of 10,680 or 10,700 will provide a pretty stiff resistance for the prices. FMCG pack. FMCG pack, if you have a look in the monthly time frame chart, we have retraced close to this 50% retracement, and this is a very, very strong support. If you have a look at the weekly time frame chart, in the weekly time frame chart, we can see that after this steep move, weekly RSI is close to 30. It's not below 30, but it is close to 30. And even if you have a look in the daily time frame chart, the RSI has gone far below 30. And one more thing is that this fall was with very, very high momentum. So if you try to pull back, I guess what might happen over here is this zone of 53,800 and especially 54,000 levels, these two levels will be able to provide very good resistance to this particular sector if this pullback continues on the upside. Going ahead, let's have a look at the infra pack. Now in the infra pack, yes, I can say that the trend is flat, and after this flattish trend, we can say RSI, the weekly RSI is pretty close to 30. It is not below 30, but close to 30. And if we use this particular swing, we will also be able to see that this particular support was not at all respected. This is the first sign. Okay. If we have a look over here in the daily time frame chart, pay attention over here. If you have a look in the daily time frame chart, yes, this pullback has been pretty sharp, but we should also understand that we are still below the previous low. So this is a sign of weakness, but if we surpass this level on closing basis, then the next level should be 8,400. Overall, this is just a pullback. This is not an uptrend. This is just a pullback, although the pullback was a little bit more stronger in the first day, in the second day. In the last 2 days of pullback, the infra pack momentum has not been visible at all according to my analysis. Okay. Let's go to the IT pack. Now, IT pack, all of us know that it surprised many of the traders on the downside, including me. Now, first thing first is let's have a look at the monthly time frame chart. In the monthly time frame chart, we have been able to retrace, and we are trading close to this 61.80% Fibonacci retracement. If you have a look over here in the weekly time frame chart, we can see very, very clearly that there is a gap over here, and this gap is also visible in the daily time frame chart. Generally, weekly gaps are not common. They are very, very uncommon. But this time, this gap is visible in the daily and in the weekly time frame chart. So let's have a look at the daily time frame chart. In the daily time frame chart, we can see that we have a positive divergence, we have a doji, and then we have a big, you should say big Mariboso candle, which is a good sign. If the momentum continues on the upside, okay, because in trend reversals, many times what I have seen is a lot of choppiness might occur and then the price moves on the upside. But if we see a very fast momentum on the upside, I should not be surprised that prices will try and test possibly somewhere 39,450 or maybe even 40,050, and this will just be a pullback, nothing more than that. Pharma pack. Now in the pharma pack, if you have a look, well, the trend is down. First of all, this is just a pullback mode. We are trying to pull back from this recent low, which was at 19,650. And if we have a look at the daily time frame chart, we have a small, very, very small sort of looking positive divergence. And if you want to confirm, then we should confirm with the price. And when we try to confirm with the price, it does not look the same because the price has also made a higher low. So always try to confirm it with the line chart, which is very, very important. Still, I would say that there are these two candles which are slightly bullish, just slightly, not a lot. And then we have a big bullish candle, and it is probable that the pullback may continue on the upside. But again, this is not a uptrend, not a trend reversal as of now. This could just be a pullback. And if you talk about resistance, then I think resistance might start kicking in somewhere around 20,800 levels. All right. PSE sector. Now, PSE sector, I should say that we do have a big positive divergence in this sector. We do have a lower low in price, higher low in RSI, and we also have a support kicking in the monthly time frame chart, which is at 38.20% retracement. So it seems that this pullback has just started in the weekly time frame chart, and in the daily time frame chart, we are at a resistance. So if we close above today's high, we sustain above it. Obviously, prices will try to shoot a little bit higher on the upside. Realty pack. Realty pack, I should say that the recent correction in the last few months have been very, very steep. And if you try to retrace this entire correction, then we have already retraced close to, not exactly, but close to 50% retracement, which is a lot. And if you check properly, this does not look like a classical positive divergence, but it looks like one. We can see that we do have a lower low in price, higher low in RSI. This, again, I am saying this is not a positive divergence. This is not a classical positive divergence, but it looks like the downside momentum is slightly coming to an end, as we are also at a support in the weekly time frame chart, which is the 161.80% Fibonacci extension. If this pullback wants to continue, that first thing it needs to do, it needs to start closing above the Thursday's high and try and continue and test somewhere around 865 or 875. All right. Midcaps. Now midcaps, I should say that in the weekly time frame chart, the RSI is very, very close to RSI 30. And we also are trading at this particular Fibonacci extension, which is a support. And in the last four or five trading sessions, in these 5 trading sessions, I should say that 3 candles out of these 5 trading sessions are bullish. And if I'm not surprised, then this pullback might continue on the upside. The immediate resistance might kick in somewhere around 51,600 levels in midcaps. Now, summing it up all, I should say that we are at a very strong support, especially in Nifty spot, somewhere around at 21,900, 21,930, which is the monthly time frame support, where I tried to, retrace both the price swings, which I shared in the starting of the video, And just to understand that this should be just a pullback. This is not a trend reversal as of now. And important resistance, stiff resistance, has still not been hit, and it might get hit somewhere around in the zone of 22,800 and 22,900. All right. So I hope this video was helpful for all of you to understand how markets might pan out in the next few days. Trade less, trade wisely. Thank you.